Sid Meier's Civilization Revolution was first released on June 13, 2008 for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, with later releases for the Nintendo DS, PC, and Windows Phone. What this game aimed to accomplish was to be a simplified console entry into the series meant for newcomers who have never played a Civilization game before. So does this simplified title achieve its goal of being a good introduction to the Civilization series? Let's find out. The look that this game seems to be going for is cartoony realism. I say this because the people, buildings, and landscapes all look like their real-life counterparts, but with a bit of caricature exaggeration. This game is also bright and seemingly full of life, even if the color palette is full of simplistic colors and a whole lot of gray within the cities themselves. The gameplay is turn-based and it revolves around building up your civilization, discovering new technologies to advance your civilization, defending against and attacking other civilizations, and winning the game in one of 4 ways. For building up your civilization, you will build many buildings, each having their own different bonuses that affect your city's population growth, production rate, culture, or gold production. For defending and attacking, you can create military units such as warriors, archers, catapults, and eventually fighter planes and tanks. Finally, there are the 4 ways to win the game, which are a domination victory, in which you must capture all the capitals of every rival civilization, a technology victory where you must be the first civilization to reach Alpha Centauri by researching most of the technologies and building a rocket before the other civilizations, a cultural victory in which you must get a mixture of 20 great people or built wonders, then build the United Nations, and finally an economic victory in which you must accumulate 20,000 pieces of gold, then build the World Bank Wonder. Since this is a city builder-esque type of game, the controls are simplistic. It is entirely played within menus, map tiles, and movable units. There is not even a need to remember what all the buttons do because the many menus already display what button is needed to be pressed in order for you to open them. There are 16 civilizations to choose from, all of which are represented by one of the most popular historical leaders, and they all come with their own different starting bonuses, special units, and advantages during each era of the game based around their real-life histories. Examples of this include Napoleon leading the French and starting with a cathedral, Gandhi leading the Indians with the immediate knowledge of religion upon reaching the medieval era, and Abraham Lincoln leading the United States with a Sherman tank as a special unit. This game has 5 different game modes: Play Now, Single Player, Multiplayer, Game of the Week, and Scenario. Play Now is really just used to get you into a game of single player quickly and straight into the action, while Single Player itself is you going up against 4 other AI civilizations on a randomly generated map. Multiplayer is the same as Single Player, except instead of going up against AIs, you would be instead going up against human players. Game of the Week is a single map or scenario that is given a leaderboard for players to have a competition to get the highest score. Finally, Scenario is where a specific modification is made to the gameplay, such as removing certain winning options, all civilizations starting with every technology already researched, or every civilization being forced to be at war with each other for the whole game. There are 5 difficulty options: Chieftain, Warlord, King, Emperor, and Deity. Chieftain and Warlord are the easier difficulties, in which the other civilizations play dumb and don't really advance themselves or grow their cities, and they're just in general a set of pushovers. King and Emperor are the normal and hard difficulties respectively, and at these settings the rival civilizations will actually be a challenge, as they will play aggressively and try to take you down with their moderately advanced civilizations. Finally, we have Deity, in which the other civilizations will hold no bounds and go all out trying to outplay you to one of the 4 victories, or just simply invade your cities to eliminate you from the game as quickly as possible, which is especially true if you are unfortunate enough to be going up against Gandhi. There is not much music in this game outside the few tracks that do play when on the main menu, on the results screen at the end of the game, or when watching the intro cutscene. The majority of this game is the ambient sounds of the cities, wilderness, and ocean, with small breakups of short fanfare when meeting with another civilization's leader or when entering a battle. With that said, the music itself has an epic classical feel to it, and it fits perfectly with the game's style. So after all that, would I say that this simplified entry into this infamously complex series of games is a good introduction? Yes, I would. Despite being scaled down to the bare basics of what a Civilization game is, this title is still fun and engaging as much as any of the other much more complex games in the series for both newcomers and even fans of the series. And with that said, I would easily recommend this game. Thanks for watching. I say this because the people, buildings, and landscapes all look like their real-life counterparts, but with a bit of caricature. For building up your civilization, you will build many buildings, each having their own different bonuses that affect your city's population growth, production. Examples of this include Finally, scenario is where a specific modification is made to the gameplay, such as removing certain There are 5 difficulty options. Chieftain. There is not much music in this game outside the few tracks that do play when on the main menu, on the results screen at the end of a game, or when watching the intro country. With that said, the music itself has an epic classical feel to it, and it fits despite being scaled down to the bare basics of what is civilization.